So welcome everybody. It's absolutely wonderful to have you all here and to have you coming on this journey of looking at how do you build trust in your business? How do you create strategies that enable your clients to fall in love with your brand? And that's really what I am going to be speaking about today. And I'm going to be sharing that with you today in order for you to take some of these strategies out of this webinar and go and apply them in your business right now. So that's really what the idea of these webinars is to share business intelligence with you, to share some of these ideas with you that you can now take them and go and apply them in your business right now. So I'm going to just hop across into my presentation and share with you what are some of these strategies that you can be applying in your business right now. So welcome to the Client Cultivator Blueprint. I'm Heather Creswell. I am a global entrepreneur and leadership coach, and I've had the privilege of coaching worldwide in order to be able to help entrepreneurs like yourselves grow and expand your businesses. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm the founder and CEO of the Alchemy Academy, and this is really an academy that has been created in order to assist entrepreneurs get access to the very latest in entrepreneur education. I'm the developer of the Entrepreneur Flow Code and the Business Brilliance programs for entrepreneurs and coaches. And I've been working in this field actually now for over 27 years. I'm the trusted mentor to leaders internationally through the UCT Graduate School of Business, where I lecture part-time. And my clients include Standard Bank, Carrick Wealth, and over 100 entrepreneurs that have come through my boot camps and that I have personally coached. And you'll see here some of my badges. I'm a member of the Circle of Excellence and Worldwide Business Intelligence. And that gives me access to the very, very latest researched on the ground entrepreneur education. So instead of it coming from other people's sources, this comes out of on the ground research in over 50 countries. What are entrepreneurs doing at the moment to create success in their business? And we take that intelligence and we create our courses and our entrepreneur education out of that study. So today, we are going to be talking about the Connect and the Cultivate steps on the Client Cultivator Blueprint. If you weren't able to attend the previous webinar, it is up on my YouTube channel. You're welcome to go and have a look at it. And that is where we discuss clarity and canvassing. And this is really the 7 steps that will define your sales strategy. So looking at clarity, canvassing clients, connecting with them, cultivating those relationships, converting them into long-term clients, collaborating with them, and ultimately building an incredible community so that your clients stay in your ecosystem. And the results of these steps is that you build incredible relationships, you create trust in those relationships. People fall in love with your brand. They fall in love with your business. They fall in love with what the products that you offer. And this creates loyalty, which obviously helps you to create a sustainable business where you have steady cash and client flow coming through your business, and you can make the impact that you dreamed of making when you started your business. So welcome. I'm very, very excited to have you with me here today. And the reason why we need to address this connection and these trust building strategies is because 71% of customers, this is just in the UK, but it can really be applied worldwide, are likely to stop purchasing from a brand that breaks their trust. So anytime we take an action, we send an unsolicited email, we do anything that makes our clients not trust us, they are immediately going to stop purchasing from us. And 54% say that they've already stopped purchasing from a brand last year owing to their trust being broken. So part of the connection step in terms of connecting with your clients is looking at trust building strategies. And the balance of power has irreversibly shifted into the hands of the customer. And we need to act accordingly. We need to be building this trust with our clients, because we no longer have the brand power that we used to have in the past, where we could just bang on a person's door and we could make that sale. We now have to cultivate these relationships. We've got to build that connection with our clients. And this comes out of Alvaro Del Pozo and studies that they did, and they've posted, and these have been posted worldwide. So what are the 5 ways to gain potential client trust? And I'm going to be unpacking this in the webinar. And I've got the picture of the wolf here, because a wolf pack is really teaches us how to trust each other, how to build that trust. When a wolf pack hunts together, each wolf has their activity that they need to be doing. And there's incredible trust that happens in the wolf pack that we can take and we can learn from them in order to apply those trust building strategies in our businesses and with our clients. And so we're going to be looking at testifying, at results, at giving people unlimited access to ourselves, building safety, and giving them something tangible in order for them to really, really trust us, and for us to gain the trust of our potential clients. So the very first step in this process is to get testimonials from our existing clients. And if you are just starting out in your business, then share your product with a friend of yours or with a group of friends of yours so that they can write you testimonials. And you'll see here, I've given an example of a client of mine who's given me a testimonial. And the reason why I've done this is because I want you to take this blueprint or this little snapshot and go and apply it in your business and actually build your testimonials out in this way. Because you'll see here, I've got a photo of Sarah who's given me this testimonial. So it shows people that it's not just something that I've made up. Sarah is a real client of mine. I've shown what program she came and she attended. She's on my mentorship program. And this is her testimonial. She tackled her business, her relationship with money. She came up with an action plan. She's got huge results, and she's given me a beautiful testimonial. But what I've also done here is I've included who Sarah is. So she's founder of the Writing Room. She's an international writing coach. She's a literary agent. And so what this does is that this is giving me positioning. This is helping me to position myself as an expert by showing the kind of quality clients that I work with. So when you're wanting to put together a testimonial, do it in this way. Whether you get it on LinkedIn or whether you're going to post this on your website, make sure that you've got permission from your client to use their picture. Obviously, if it's on LinkedIn, it's fantastic because automatically their profile comes up. But make sure that your clients can see, your prospective clients can see that this isn't something that you've just made up. It's actually coming from a place of authenticity. Then the second area is for you to share your results. So what are the results, the actual results that clients have got through working with you? So here are some of the results that my clients have got that have attended my Sales Brilliance Bootcamp. There's been a 76% increase in sales. There's been an 82% increase in market positioning, and there's been a 100% increase in client retention. And so when you're actually showing these stats, you are addressing those clients of yours that are wanting the stats. They're logical thinkers. They need to see proof of your results. They want to make sure that you are able to deliver what you are that you say that you can deliver. So by using these two strategies, you're speaking to the hearts of your clients by showing them a person, by connecting with the human aspect of your clients, as well as now the more logical mental aspects of these are the concrete results that people can expect from your product or as a result of working with you. Then the third element is giving people unlimited access to you. And this might mean through webinars, such as these webinars that I'm running. It could be through being able to set up appointments with them. It could mean that you give them access to you via a free online course that you offer, or an element of your technology that you're going to give them access to. So whatever it is that is pertinent to your business, that's going to allow them to get an experience of you, and that you are accessible to them. You're not sitting in your white ivory tower as the CEO, but you are able to share with them and give them access to you. Then the next element is building safety. And you can see here, there's people, if you've got children, my children always used to say to me, "Pinky promise, Mom." And so the first way that you can build safety is by keeping your promises. So if you promise to deliver something, you make sure that you deliver it on time. If you promise to show up for a meeting, you show up on time. And then the other elements of building safety is that you show up consistently, so that you are visible across your platforms, that you share from your heart. You're authentic. People want to hear your story. People want to know, what was my entrepreneur journey? What led me to be so passionate about this business that I'm in at the moment? And that really came from me losing 2 businesses, where I had to make the very, very painful decision of shutting down 2 businesses. They were an interior design and a construction business. And the shutting down of those businesses really sent me on this journey to go and study with the top global leaders in terms of entrepreneur education, so that I could, first of all, make my coaching business a success and be able to coach at a global level, which I was able to do last year, to be able to travel internationally, which I did last year as well, and to really take those strategies that I have applied to create success in my own business and share them with other entrepreneurs, so that you guys don't have to go through that painful process that I went through in shutting down those businesses, having to retrench staff. It's just heartbreaking when you've got to go through that process. But I needed to go through that process because I've learned so much from it. And it's out of those learnings that I can authentically share with my clients how they can learn from my mistakes and grow their businesses, so that their businesses are sustainable and can support them. And then making sure that you walk your talk. If you say that you're a global coach, that you can show that, there you are in the US, or there you are in the UK, or there you are online running an international webinar, that you can really share and build that safety, that you're not one of these, people that build, here's a picture of you with this person and that person, but it's not really happening at an authentic level. So those are some of the ways that you can build safety for your clients. And then the last element in the building trust strategy, and the part of the connection step, is to give your clients something tangible. Now, I work with, he's part of my mentorship. He's part of the Circle of Excellence. He's a phenomenal coach. He's an incredible speaker. And every single time he goes and he meets with a new prospective client, he gives them a branded package of coffee, because he is a coffee fanatic. He absolutely loves coffee. Now, coffee doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the fact that he's a speaker or he's a coach, but he leaves his clients, his prospective clients, with something tangible, that when they smell that coffee, they're going to remember him. When they drink or sip that cup of coffee and it's delicious, they're going to remember him. And so what we want to do in this area is to give our clients something that appeals to the senses. You know, we're living in this online world at the moment where so many of our interactions is happening in this online space, that to give somebody, leave them with something tangible is very, very powerful. You know, having a coffee table book that maybe shows some of your results. This is something that I'm busy working with an insurance client where they had a whole number of their clients whose houses burnt down. And so we're putting together a coffee table book showing the journey, you know, the fact that they were insured with them, built the safety, they were able to rebuild their homes, and there they are, burnt out and black, and the end of the coffee table book shows these new beautiful homes that they've managed to build and that journey that they've taken them on. So this is also for you to be thinking a little bit out the box in terms of a coffee table book. What is it that you can share that's tangible? Is it a beautiful workbook that you can give to a client? Is it a beautiful diary that has little sayings in it, or has some of your products in it? Anything that you can give them that's tangible, that when they engage with it, they smell it, they feel it, they touch it, they taste it, it is going to remind them of you. So those are just a little bit of a deep dive into the 5 ways to build trust with your potential clients, that you can maybe take some of these strategies and start to apply them in your business right now in order to build that authentic trust. Then the second element that we're going to be looking at here on the Prospective Client Cultivator Blueprint is looking at how do we really cultivate those relationships. So you've engaged with your client, they are able to start to trust you, they've seen you, they've got access to you, they can see that you are authentic, and now you want to deepen that relationship and you want to start to cultivate it. So you can see here, much like this little seedling, this is really where your relationship is with your clients. It's just starting to blossom. And in order for that seedling to grow, we need to plant it into fertile soil. We need to water it. We need to nurture it in order for that relationship to grow into this beautiful relationship that is going to result in a sale, that is going to result in that client, that prospective client, wanting to come into your ecosystem. And so the way that we cultivate those relationships is by looking at these 4 steps that I have up here. And that is understanding our client's world in order to help them solve problems. It's adding value before we look for the sale. It's really making whatever it is that we do with this client, making it matter so that they feel that they really, really matter to us. And then the last step is really building those authentic relationships so that when we take the next step on the Client Cultivator Blueprint, which is converting those relationships and these prospective clients into an actual client and into a sale, that becomes a byproduct of the relationship. And if you do these cultivation strategies properly, which I call love strategies, it's building love with that client, then the sale really becomes a byproduct of your relationship. Your prospective clients start to ask you, how can they engage with you? They ask you how they can work with you. Instead of you having to go out there and hustle and spend time trying to chase those sales, those clients start to come to you. So what are some of those ways that we can solve our clients' problems? You can help your clients solve some of their problems, first of all, by really understanding their world. So getting to know your clients is the first step. But you can give talks at events. So I often go and I'll speak at events. I'll speak at online webinars that are going to help your clients solve problems. You can host micro trainings for your clients. So invite them to a training that you are giving that specifically addresses your client's pain, specifically addresses whatever it is that's keeping them up at 3 a.m. You can share your expertise with them by inviting them to a business meeting, having a coffee with them in a beautiful hotel, and sharing with them your expertise that is going to help them solve their problem. Maybe you've gone and you've done some research. So one of my clients is in energy, and so in green energy. So they go and they provide industry reports that show their clients how going green can help them solve problems, how they can bring their costs down, how it can lessen the impact on the environment, and they share these industry reports with their clients. So thinking about what are some of the things that you can be doing in your business that is going to help your clients solve these problems. Then the second element is, how can you add value? So before we even asking for the sale, before we wanting to even go into a sales presentation, we want to add value to our clients. So we can perform an on-site audit for our client. We can go in and we can ask them questions. We can interview their teams. That's going to maybe give them insight into what's going on in their business. We can provide them with smart diagnostic tools in the form of a quiz or an assessment. We can ask them the top 10 sales questions, which I've got up here on a blueprint, but we're going to be looking at that because that's really part of our conversion strategy. But really understanding, where does your client want to be in a year's time? What are those three things that are their three biggest challenges that are holding them back? And then provide them with expertise that is going to help them to solve those challenges right now. And then the other thing that we can give them is we can give them some online assessments that is going to provide them with real business intelligence that is going to give them a snapshot of where their business is and how your product or your service can solve that problem. The next area that we want to look at is really making it matter. And this is where we look at partnering with our prospective clients, like these two beautiful eagles. And my philosophy in life is that 1 + 1 = 11, not 2. We are so much more powerful when we are partnering, when we are contributing, and when we really are adding enormous value and making it matter to our client. So what are some of the things that we can do that really help our clients feel that we care about them? So we can invite them to a beautiful lunch or dinner. And this is not a schmoozy, salesy lunch or dinner. This is where we take them to a beautiful restaurant and we engage with them and we listen to what it is that they wanting to share with us, understanding what their world is like, understanding what their pain and their problem is like. We can offer to be a wingman at a big meeting or a big presentation that we can help them just by being there, help them to share, help them to feel supported when they're going in to go and do a big presentation. I know I'll sometimes invite one of my Circle of Excellence members to come with me if I'm doing a big pitch. I'm always going to ask somebody to come and be a wingman for me. It helps to position me as an expert. It means that it's just not me by myself. And this is really a value that you can add that can be hugely powerful for a prospective client when you're not asking for anything in return. You can give them a tangible gift. We've already spoken about that. But another thing that you can do that really can feel like they matter is to give them well-positioned introductions. So understanding what their business is about and then introducing them to people who they can possibly partner with, suppliers that can possibly help them in terms of their business, or even prospective clients before you've even jumped in to make your sale. Who are some prospective clients that you can connect them with that they are going to think, wow, I can't believe that this person without asking for a sale, has already invested so much in our relationship. And then this really feeds into building these authentic relationships. And when we care about somebody and when we really want to build an authentic relationship, the two most powerful things that we can do, the questions that we can ask ourselves, is how can we help them to save time, and how can we help them to save money? Because if we look at the sense of overwhelm that so many people have today, so many of our prospective clients have today, we are overwhelmed because we don't have enough time. We are stretched because we are wanting to make money, we're wanting to save money. And so in your client's world, what are some of the ways that you can help them save time, that you can help them make money? And you can do this by running webinars, much as like I'm doing today. Hopefully this is going to help you saving time in terms of having to go and do all of your own research into these areas. Hopefully it's going to make you some money so that you can take these strategies and go and apply them in your sales plan starting from today. And you can give people free strategy calls. You can provide them with useful connections. We've spoken about that, and really build an authentic relationship that isn't reliant on the sale. So even if they end up not doing business with you, you still end up having them as a relationship, and you still end up having them in your ecosystem. Because I still have people, prospective clients, that I don't necessarily have as clients yet, but they're actually referring people to me. So because I've got this authentic relationship with them, they don't feel pressured in terms of having to come and sign up for one of my programs. They are still referring other people to come and sign up for my programs. And so think about it from this perspective in terms of those authentic relationships. And so because I really would love to get to know all of you a little bit better and build a trust and build an authentic relationship with you, I'd really love it if any of you would feel like it would be of value to you to have a 30-minute sales strategy session with me, an intro session. It's not a sales call. Then please feel free to take a screenshot of this blueprint, of this flow code, or hold your phone camera up, and it will take you through to the page on my website where you can book a 30-minute call. I'd love to help you with your sales strategy, to understand a little bit more about your business. And I promise you, I'm not going to try and sell you anything in that call. It's really about me wanting to add value and cultivate a meaningful relationship with you in exchange for your beautiful attention and for you attending this webinar. So this is really just an overview and a deep dive into the connect and the cultivate steps on the Client Cultivator Blueprint. We are going to be running these webinars on an ongoing basis. And if you want to take a snapshot of this, these are really the 7 keys to your sales success and the 7 keys to helping you build out a powerful sales strategy that is unique to your business. And by doing this, you're going to build sustainability in your business. You're going to build prosperity in your business. And much like this tree, you're going to create a stable foundation. And it is my heartfelt wish that out of what I have shared with you today, that your businesses can flourish and grow much like this tree has, and much like my business has as a result of applying these strategies in my business. So that's the end of the presentation today. There's my email address if any of you would like to pop me an email. And as a gift for all of you attending this webinar and giving me your incredible attention, I would love you to have access to the 5 ways of building client trust. So Irene is going to pop that into the chat. You're welcome to click through And if you just pop your email address in there, I will send you the blueprint that I spoke through on the 5 ways to build prospective client trust. And that will hopefully really help you to build trust in your own business and make it become part of your sales strategy. So I would love to open the floor now to any of you. If you've got any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask those questions, or pop any questions that you have into the chat. And I'd love to answer any questions that you've got. So any questions on the Client Cultivator Blueprint, any questions on anything that we've covered today, I'd love to hear from you. Anybody have any questions?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I just wanted to ask a question. So there was a lot of speak about trust and all of that.
Yes.
How does one, because I mean, we are human at the end of the day. What if someone does make a small mistake and that leads to them now losing a little bit of trust in us? How would you recommend gaining that trust back, or how would you go about basically trying to gain their trust back and get to where you were instead of losing them entirely?
So I think the first thing to do is to just own your mistake. Own up and apologize for what it is that you've done. I think that can be something incredibly powerful to do. It shows that you are authentic. It shows that you are human. You know, we all make mistakes. We all can say the wrong thing. We can send out an email that maybe isn't, quite in alignment with what we wanted to say. And I'll give you an example of this, actually, is that I run a retreat, and my partner, instead of doing a broadcast to his community, he created a group. Now, that was a mistake that he made, because that contravenes the Poppy Act, and everybody on the group could see everybody else's contact details. And the minute he realized his mistake, he sent out an apology and he disbanded the group. That was just a simple mistake because he didn't know the technology, and it didn't end up compromising any of those relationships because he sent a heartfelt apology to all of those people. So that's just a small example of where, you make a mistake. It's not coming from a place of nastiness or horribleness. It was just a simple mistake of creating a group instead of a broadcast list. And so I would say that, apologize, connect with that person, set up a call if they're willing to speak to you face to face, and really just own what you did. Because the minute you give yourself permission to own your mistake, you open up the space for authentic connection. So I hope that helps you.
Yes, thank you. Can I ask another one, perhaps?
Yes, a pleasure. Yeah, for sure.
So when it comes to sales and that kind of thing, and especially being authentic and really getting to know your clients and all of that, how do you go about setting about boundaries so that, for example, that like they feel so connected to you that maybe they might send a lot of emails or calls or messages after hours? How would you set about a healthy boundary to also be reminded that, like, yes, this is work, but there's still this authenticity, but that there's a boundary set?
Yeah, that's such a great question. So you can set on WhatsApp. So if you running your business and people are going to be communicating with you on WhatsApp as the WhatsApp business, as setting it up on WhatsApp as a business, put your times in there, so that if people ping you after hours, you can have an automatic message that goes to your clients that says, thank you so much for your message. So my mentors are available on WhatsApp Monday to Thursday during office hours. So I know that if I ping them after hours, first of all, it's disrespectful because we have set it up front that's when they are available. And the same thing for your emails. You can just, if you're signing out at 5 o'clock, just activate your message so that people know that that is those are your business hours. And then don't answer after hours. Respect your own time during that time, and make sure that you might read the WhatsApp, but don't respond to it. So that you also carving out that time. And in the previous webinar that we run, where we talk about clarity and we talk about your niche assessment and defining who your client is, if you have done that properly, and if you are connecting with people that are in your niche, then you will only be dealing with clients that do respect you. You will be dealing with clients that have a similar values alignment to you. But sometimes, you just need to put that boundary in place. And so there's obviously technology that you can do that with, but it's also just in your communication. So that's a brilliant question. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions or anything they'd like to add? Those were great questions.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Thank you.
Oh, okay, cool. Perfect. So kind of going on with what Jade said with regards to being authentic towards your clientele. Obviously, there are situations where your clients can get upset with you, whether it be your fault or even outside or not your fault, but you're now sitting in front of them and they are complaining to you. And maybe on a side note, I'm an only child. I don't deal with conflict very well.
Yes.
So I kind of want the best way. How do you go around with somebody who's very angry with you for something that's not necessarily your fault? How do you approach that and still remain on good terms?
Excellent question. So the very first thing that you can do in that situation is to listen to your client, is to listen to what it is that they've got to say. So very often when we are listening to a person, we are already crafting our own response. So as the person's busy talking, we're crafting our response to what it is that they're going to say. And as they take a breath, we jump in with our response. That's particularly if you're a talker. So obviously I'm a talker, otherwise I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now in this webinar. But that's the very first thing, is to listen to your clients. The second thing is to get very curious and about what it is your client is saying and what it is that has upset them. So ask questions. I really want to understand where you are coming from. I really want to understand the impact that this has had on you. So you ask questions. And this helps us, instead of being defensive or wanting to defend ourselves or defend what we've done, whether it's us, whether it's our partner, whether it's somebody else, or whatever it is that's upset the clients. When we listen to our clients and we just present with them, everybody starts to calm down. So they start to calm down. You keep yourself calm because you're paying attention instead of trying to react to it, instead of trying to think about how am I going to solve this client's problem right now. You're simply being with them. And then once you've asked them, I really want to understand, you can ask them, what can I do that could help you, that would help correct the situation? So ask them to come up with a solution. So instead of us jumping in with, this is what I think I can do for you, this is what I think can solve this problem, first ask them what they think would help them to be able to move forward. What would help you to be able to move forward? And once you've got that, then you can start to say to them, I think that's great. That's definitely something that we can work on together. That's something that I feel like I can do. I've had some other thoughts. Now that I understand what would help you move forward, these are the thoughts that I've had. So you build a solution together with your client. Now, obviously, if you've got products or services or coaching or a book that you can recommend, whatever it is that you think might help your client, then definitely recommend that. But people are about 80% more likely to take an action that they have come up with than to take an action that you've come up with. So I hope that helps. And yeah, I've got a couple of only children that I work with where conflict is very, very difficult because you're not used to that robust sibling fight that, you know, if you've grown up like me, I had 5 siblings, you know, you're used to kind of being robust in that environment. Your biggest opportunity here is that you have the ability to listen and really be with your clients and understand what their issues are. So I hope that was helpful.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. You're welcome. Anybody else have any questions or anything that you'd like to add, or anything you'd like, any comments that you have from the content that I shared with you? Yes, exactly, Jade. Yeah, validating where they're coming from, and through that validation, really connecting with them. So coming from a place of compassion, connecting with them from your heart. So, you know, it's only our egos when we want to jump in and defend ourselves if we've, you know, that end up bruised in that process. So if we just step into their world and understand where they're coming from, we will automatically connect with them more deeply.
Sorry, I just also want to comment on that. What I've found is when it comes to clients that are quite frustrated in that, this is more where my psychology studies come in, by mimicking certain movements or mimicking certain phrases that they say and listening to them, it tends to calm them down a lot. And then eventually they get to a point where the problem will actually, then you can kind of start discussing the problem. That's just from what I've encountered.
Yeah, 100%. So building rapport through mirroring what they're doing. So, you know, if they're sitting with their hand on the chin, you do that. And that is an unconscious bonding that takes place. So that's also, if you pay attention to your clients at a very, very deep level, you will also get to recognize the way that your client interprets the world. So if your client is a visual person like me, I'll say to, you know, I can see where you're coming from. Then that's going to connect with them. If you listen to your clients and they say, you know, they say things like, I'm hearing this or I'm hearing that, then when you speak back to your client, you use that same terminology. I hear what it is that you're saying. So that also helps to build rapport with your clients. I mean, we kind of really going into in depth now into building that connection. So it's so great. So those are just some of the, you know, if you've got a client that speaks really slowly, then match your tone and your slowness, you know, slow down your speech. If you've got a client that's high energy and speaks really fast, then up your tone to, you know, up your speech pace to match theirs. So we want to entrain. So much like, you know, that picture of those 2 eagles that was in my presentation. When a flock of birds are in what we call entrainment, you know, where the whole flock just moves together like this, and it's so beautiful. It's like poetry in motion. That's what we're doing with our clients when we're doing that. We're getting into a place of entrainment. And when once we've entrained with our clients, then we can lead them. And so we can come in and not from a power over perspective, but from a leadership perspective, to lead them to a solution. If we're coaching them, or if we're counseling them, or we're having a session with them, then we can lead them to take next steps. Great. So any other questions? Thank you, Sia. It's been wonderful having you with us. Anybody else got any comments or anything on the session or anything else that we'd like to share before we wrap it up?
I just want to say, I think it's amazing how what you presented on you actually kind of mimicked. You you kind of sold yourself while presenting on the stuff, and like you gave the theoretical understandings while actually doing it as well. I think it was a very great thing, a very great presentation. Thank you very much. It was very helpful.
Awesome. Thank you. I hope that you can go and apply it. And yeah, if you want to book a strategy call where maybe I can help you just in terms of the actual nitty-gritty of your own business, then please feel free to hop on, take a photo of that, or just go onto my website and book an intro session. Cool. Otherwise, thank you. I'm going to be signing off now. It's been wonderful to spend this time with you. I have really, really appreciated all of your fantastic questions. It's wonderful to have that interaction. And I look forward to seeing you on the next webinar. We will pop that out on LinkedIn, and we will also be posting it across my platforms, whether it's Facebook and Instagram, etc. And look forward to having you on the next session, which is going to be around the converting of these relationships into sales, and then really onboarding and collaborating with your clients on an ongoing basis so that you build a powerful ecosystem which results in a community, because that's what we want to create with our clients. We really want to create a sense of community, and where they don't want to go anywhere else, and where they are able to go and bring other people, and you can build referral strategies into that community. Yes, Tafleen, I will have your email addresses from this, so we will make sure that we send invites to all of you, and I will also pop you the links to the recording and to the deck that I shared with you today. So thank you, everybody. It's been fantastic, and look forward to seeing you on the next session. From my heart to yours, I wish you much prosperity. I wish you a deep connection to your own sense of purpose, and that you live passionately and authentically in your everyday life. Take care, and